Welcome everyone to Market Protocol Engineering Weekly. It's week number 39. It's Thursday, September 27th. So today, I was actually able to find a World Day. I do try to find those and just not national days here in the United States. So today is World Tourism Day. And I have a picture of one of my most favorite places in Arches National Park. If you guys have ever been there, it's in Moab. And that is probably one of the most photographed arches, if not one of the top photographed places in the world, that delicate arch. So it's absolutely beautiful. If you ever get a chance to come out this way and visit, I highly, highly recommend heading out to Moab and going to Arches and spending the day there. So it's really easy how to celebrate this one. You just travel or take some time off. And so Bass, you just need to tell Collins you need a month off and go and hit the sites and see the scene.
You know, it's interesting. You mentioned Moab. My wife and I are talking about going there in November for my birthday. I think it should be nice since it's a desert in the winter. We'll see.
It's a little cool, right? But it's definitely worth going. There's also, as you go toward Dead Horse Point, there's some yurts or huts that you can rent before you get out there. I can send the link to you after the call, but that might be worth looking into because they're enclosed and they have some, little better than being in a tent.
Yeah. Glamping is our form of camping. So share those recommendations, please.
I certainly will. One of the things that surprised me, I didn't realize this, but if you take a look at the tourism sector overall, it's estimated to be 10% of the world's GDP, or 1 in 10 jobs globally. I thought that was really an amazing figure. There's some other ones there as well, but this is a World Day. And believe it or not, tourism is very much involved in technology. So big data, artificial intelligence, and digital platforms, not only innovation and entrepreneurship, but also trying to save the environment as well. So happy World Tourism Day. Get out, do something today, and hopefully plan a vacation for the near future. With that, we're going to do some introductions. So we'll start with Bass, because you're on the left-hand side over here on my screen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's a little bit of a Brady Bunch view here I've got as well. My name is Bass. My background is business finance across a range of roles. I've been working with the Market Protocol team, but recently joined as a full-time member working on business development and operations as well. I really enjoy these calls just to see what you guys are up to. It helps us, in terms of informing our go-to-market. The two things, there's a feedback loop between them, of course. And I'm excited to see the CIMEX today.
Woohoo! Travis is sitting there silently compiling code and deploying to get ready. Thanks, Bass.
I'm not even going to lie. I literally just wrote the last line of code as you said that and got everything working.
I had a feeling that was going on.
Just in time.
It's just in time engineering.
Right. There's incredible efficiencies.
Thanks, Bass. Thanks for joining the call. Dano.
I was a little nervous. I started this morning and I was a little nervous because the API randomizes the order book data from the bot. And so I had to connect with trade charts to the order book. And I was a little concerned I wasn't going to get all those pieces in play before because it looks really nice today. So,
hey, Dano, welcome.
Hello. Yep. Looking to see what's on.
Got it. Thanks for joining us today. Phil, introduce yourself. And why are you here today?
Hey guys, Phil Sasser, CTO and co-founder of Market Protocol. After Robert's introduction, I think they need another vacation. But yeah, glad to be here today. Looking forward to some of the demos and the conversation. And don't really have anything else to add.
Thanks, Phil. Yeah, Phil took an extended vacation, and he was underwater more than he was above water when he was diving. So that was a fantastic time. Thanks, Phil. Getty, tell us who you are and what you're interested in. Okay, we might come back to you. Patrick, introduce yourself. Who are you and why are you here?
Hey, I'm Patrick Charles. I'm in Denver. I'm an advisor to Market Protocol and sometimes technical contributor, and I'm here to see the great work you guys are doing and also hopefully be able to help out sometime in the future.
Thanks, Patrick. I also hear you're Phil's trainer too when it comes to cycling.
I think it's quite the other way around.
All right, Lazar.
Morning, everyone. This is Lazar, Community Manager for Market Protocol. And as far as how I'm going to spend the tourism day, I'm planning to do some traveling to buy some food for myself because my in-laws were here and, for like 3 weeks and we had them cooking for us and it was a pretty good deal, and now me and my girlfriend are all alone again. So there's a lot of traveling between the shopping carts for me today scheduled, I guess.
What you going to cook for dinner tonight?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty anxious about it, honestly. I got used to living with parents again. So yeah, I gotta figure that out.
All right. Well, enjoy yourself and share a picture on what you make tonight. Doesn't matter if it's SpaghettiOs or not. Whatever it is.
I better not play around too much in the kitchen. I'm not the best cook.
Okay. Thanks, Lazar. Nitin, who are you and why are you here?
Hey guys, I'm Nitin. I am a product designer and a front-end developer in Market Protocol. I am currently working in the simulated exchange, trying to complete that. Yep, that's it.
Great. Thanks, Nitin. Yeah, Nitin's one of our core contributors. And last but not least, the man that wrote the last line of code to get the SimX working, Travis.
My name is Travis Mathis. I am a software core team member developer from Huntington, Vermont in the United States. Thank you.
Sweet. Thanks, Travis. And thank you, community, for all of your work. We really appreciate it. These calls are for you. Give you an opportunity to obviously ask questions of us, of the core team and the founding members of the company, but also to make sure that we can disseminate information back out to you. So we're really happy to be here today. We do have some demos today and also a quick update next on this week. And as you heard, we're working really hard to get feature complete on the Sim Exchange. And we're going to have a demo a little bit later on that. Internally, we're going to do some work on our email marketing system. I need to move off to SendGrid. They're a little bit more crypto friendly. It's quite interesting in this space how you get lumped into one bucket when it relates to certain items, and crypto is one of those things. It seems like companies either love you or they hate you, and so email providers seem like they don't like too many crypto companies. So we're moving off on that. We have some fixes that we're working on in our Contract Explorer. We're continuing on with our Chainlink integration. Phil's still spearheading that effort. It's looking pretty good. You saw some of that last week, and if not, there's some demos I believe that are posted up on YouTube to talk about our Chainlink integration. You can also visit us on our Telegram channel, ask questions, or even our Discord. So just a plug there for how to connect with us. And we have some Market API work that's supporting the D app and the Sim Exchange. So that's what we're working on this week. You'll see some of that work a little bit later, as I said. The monthly release status, I've got a link in there to our release goals for October. And as you see on our release chart, we're tracking pretty well to that. The past couple of days have been pretty big days for us. Last week was a little difficult. Sometimes you run into those situations where you have a lot of bugs or a lot of questions and kind of halts the process a bit. But we're all cleared up, removed the blocks early this week, and we're zipping forward. So really happy to see the progress there. As far as our shipping software, please note that there was a small update to Market.js. So if you're using Market.js, please update. If you have any questions or comments or any bugs, let us know or submit an issue. And there's also a minor update to the website. So With that, I want to just open it up. If there is anything as a community that you found in working with the project that you'd like to share with other folks, please do so now. I will pause for a moment to allow you to voice your concern, opinion, or give us feedback.
Totally not related to deving on the project, but ETH Denver applications are opening in 35 days, maybe. Anyways, I think that it'd be awesome if everyone wants to try to attend in different capacities. You can be a mentor, you can hack, you can be, you don't have to be technical to be involved in the hackathon team. You can advise on things from go-to-market strategy for an application or help with UX if you're a crypto person. Last year was an incredible event and really helped us network and just get introduced into the community of crypto in Denver and worldwide. So just a quick plug for ETH Denver. If you have any questions, reach out to me about it.
Awesome. So each individual has to apply to attend ETH Denver.
Yes, so you can apply as a team also, I think, for the hackathon. But the more applications that we go through, the better. There may be some ability to get people in because we're involved in the organization volunteering. But the more people that get in organically, the easier it'll be, because it is going to be a limited event, and it was really popular last year. And I'm sure even more so this year. They're trying to make it larger, but I'm sure the demand's up as well.
Great. So apply, everybody. Get in. It's going to be a great time. I just keep hearing great things about last year, so please do so as soon as possible. Is it open, Phil? Registration?
No, I think the first round of applications is like 35 days away. I just posted the link in the chat for it. So feel free to take a look at it. And it's free, just like all the ETH Global events. They don't charge anything to get in, which is wonderful. The idea is not like every other conference where the charge is like $3,000 for entry fee. It's really just about getting people together, creating community, and creating awesome tech and collaborating.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, it's always difficult to put any sort of conference on because there's a lot of money that's being spent to do that. So it's well worth it, everybody. So please register. All right. It's that time of our show today. It's our demo. I'm going to turn it over to Travis. So are you ready, Travis?
Sure. I can show off what we got for the week.
That's great. Okay. State your name. I'll pause, state your name, and then tell us what you're going to show us. Thanks, Travis.
All right. Let me just get the screen shared.
Yes.
I won't forget this time. I'll get it done right away. Okay. So my name is Travis Mathis. I'm a core team developer at Market Protocol, and I'm just going to be demoing an update of the continued polish of the SIM exchange. As well as maybe, is Nitin here?
Yeah, I see him as part of the call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I will leave the new Grid Explorer to Nitin to demo then.
Sweet.
So as you can see, not a whole lot of real new feature-wise. A lot of this was working and has been demoed, but now it looks real nice and pretty. We have our order book as well as the depth chart related to that live and working, as you can see. So it looks a lot nicer. We also have, if I change contracts here, you'll notice I have some positions on this contract. The data updates nicely. We have trade history available. We now have wallet history available. And you can also begin to, I apologize for the dog in the background, click on orders in the order book and buy. There is a bug here. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you before I click the button that this isn't actually going to sign the transaction and go through. There's a couple of bugs here that we're working through, but so we do have an invalid signature error here that I'm aware of that we have to work through. But you can see this has a lot of transactions, a lot of history. And that's kind of where we're at. We've done a lot of polishing this week on it to get to this point. Oh, there's also one more thing to show that's been updated. So I am going to show, we do have the new open orders and cancellation in an open order functionality finalized. So I'm going to go ahead and show that whole process now with all the new UI that we put in this week. So I'm just going to buy one BTC at what's the current price? Can't click on anything. So I'm gonna have the current price of BTC. All right, I've got it. 64.90. So it's 64.90. We place a buy order, and we will sign our transaction. And we now have an open order that can be filled. But we can also cancel our orders now. And even though that transaction took place off chain, we do have the functionality and the capability to cancel that order, so that the order can essentially be blacklisted and can't be filled. It does require a transaction, as you saw, to cancel an order. So yeah, that's all the updated functionality for the week on the SIM exchange, but it's nearly feature complete from the sense of a initial build out of the SIM exchange and what we were hoping to accomplish, end-to-end soup to nuts trades. There is one more tiny section to go here. We still have our temporary ability to fill JSON blobs this way. And so until we replicate that UI over here somewhere in some way, and the ability to share the JSON blob with people, that's going to remain for the time being. But as far as functionality goes, we have, in short of the one little bug in the order book, which I hope we take care of today or tomorrow. And once we can complete that order, we'll be able to do everything regarding market protocol contracts from within the SIM exchange, from depositing into a contract, withdrawing, creating buy and sell orders, canceling those orders, viewing our net positions, viewing trade history, and making trades against the order book.
Travis,
Very nice.
Yeah, I was going to say the graphs look really good. I know you've spent a lot of effort in the last few days getting those rolling. So yeah, nice work on those.
I don't know how many people have done charts, but charts, anytime charts come up, I dread it. They're so difficult. There's so much code that goes into building up the data, and and people that design the charts always make them look so nice, but they're so hard to do in code. So yeah, trade charts are fun.
That's great. I think if any of the folks on the call have been following this over the past few weeks and seeing how the functionality has really been rounding out, the polish has really come into play here, and that's great. You guys have done a wonderful job getting this up and running. So, woohoo! Great to see. Any questions from the community? All right, Nitin, I think you have a small demo here too. You're going to demo the Contract Explorer. Are you ready to do that? I think he is.
Yeah. Yes. Just give me 1 second. I'm just setting up. Okay.
Go ahead and pause and say your name and then what you're going to demo. It'll make Lazar happy.
Hey guys, I'm Nitin. So today I'm going to show two things. One is a little bit of updates from the SIM exchange and the Contract Explorer. But yeah, so I think Travis previously walked through us a bit of updates here and there. So I have a couple of more updates which I'm working in parallel with Travis. So I just quickly going to show what that exactly is. One thing is with the contract selection. So earlier we had a ugly drop down of entire ongoing list. So right now we just clean the UI a bit. We haven't added the filters yet, so that'll be coming in the coming days soon. So this is one update which I want to give. So probably it's just as simple as navigating between a bunch of contacts, which is much cleaner now. And yeah, user can search and whatnot. I see a bunch of comments, and yeah. And one more thing I just wanted to show, which right now I'm currently working on, is the ability to request collateral tokens. For example, right now I am on a contract with based on Ethereum, and if I switch over to a contract USDT, so right now this connection requires certain collateral tokens in order to like trade in. So this is the feature we've been working on. So this would be an initial UI, I can say, where this will be like presented before the wallet. So once we request certain collateral token, let me quickly do that. I hope it works. This is still in development. So yeah. Anyway, so once we request the available to deposit section over here, that will get updated, which will be current. Yeah, I think the transaction is confirmed. I'll just quickly switch between an Ethereum contract versus, yeah. So yeah, still a bit of my polishing here and there is there, which we are currently working on. But yeah, you saw the flow of how the requesting of the collateral token, and now user can deposit how much ever tokens and then trade on. So this is a minute update for the SIM exchange. And the other one is with the Contract Explorer. Just let me quickly switch to that branch.
Well, you did a great job on that UI. That's so much better on that drop down. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the old Contract Explorer.
Yes. Give me 1 second. It's in another branch. Let's stop the share and ask for any questions if you guys have got before starting the other one.
Not a question, but I just want to say that I think that the flow there for depositing collateral looks really good.
Yeah, I think Lazar also had a question regarding that. Probably, it's better for him as well.
Looks awesome, guys. I mean, I maybe for somebody who is gonna watch all of these, they are not gonna think that it's such a significant move towards getting things done. But I think that you guys are right now in the position of wrapping up the last 20%, which is always takes 80% of your time. So I definitely see a lot of progress being made as somebody who's been tracking it from day one. Good job, guys.
Thank you, Lazar. So starting the D app. Excuse me, guys, because it's in a different branch, so we're working in parallel. So I was just trying to switch between branches.
That's okay. I could play some music.
Yes, for sure.
We play a Jeopardy song.
Is there any question with respect to UI and the experience which you guys want to share?
Ooh.
Anyways, yeah. So hey guys, I'm Nitin. So today I'm going to show our new grid view of contracts. I think we've already shown this earlier, but we just made minor polishing here and there, and I just wanted to give you an update with that. So yeah, so this was the previous contract list which we had. This basically bunch of list of contracts which is there currently. Right now we're in the process of renaming this instead of showing the Oracle query of what the contract has, we'll just like show the type of Oracle. For example, if this is retrieving from Binance, so we'll be showing this Binance over here. So that update is probably in this week or next week's progress. Yeah. So and then we can probably click on this more option and see a bunch of additional details over here. You can copy whatever the address of this contract and address of the token as well. So this is a simple table list of this thing. So we also wanted to do a more visualized view of this contract.
Nice.
And so this just another representation of the table which we had over here, and the two blobs over here shows the two different tokens which is involved in this contract, and the name of the contract, and how much balance, and when is it expiring, and what type of collateral this is based on. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is a simple modified UI of the contract list.
So Nitin, to filter this view further, I see all contract, all tokens.
Yeah. So we also have a bunch of additional filters over here. So which I guess we will be adding bunch more in the future, near future, and definitely we can filter based on any expiring soon contract. I don't think so right now any contract which is expiring soon, and contract which has high balance, and we can also filter with based contract which based on Ethereum or just USDT, stuff like this. And of course, by name. Yep.
Great. Is there, so when you click on the contract, I see the more details in the upper right-hand corner.
Mm-hmm.
But when you just click in general on that contract, do you jump over into the SIMX with that contract
selected?
So,
yeah, that's the idea, Robert. But right now, it's not yet implemented. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'll get that.
And then one other question.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the other view, on the list view.
Mm-hmm.
So from the Oracle perspective, there's the source, but there's also the provider, as I'll call it. So there's Oracleize it or Chainlink. Would that be helpful to do that designation there or no?
As in, show what Oracle we are using, is it?
Yeah, so just to give an indication of which Oracle and then which source inside of that Oracle. I don't know if that makes sense, but
yes. So the plan is to because I don't think we are using for this contract sense makes much better sense. For example, if this is using Binance or if it's using Chainlink and showing that instead of the query makes much sense, right? So that is the plan which we have right now. I think it's in this week's progress. But yeah, let's see if we get done, and probably we can show it off the next week's call.
Okay. Yeah, you broke up a little bit there, but I think the answer was yes. You're gonna do both.
Yes.
I got two small questions for you, Nitin. Just maybe one is more of a suggestion and one is a question. A list view shows the base token and labels it as a base token. As I noticed, when you go to the grid, you call that collateral. So do you think that maybe just for the sake of, keeping things clear for anyone who's a new user and does not understand probably that the base token and collateral are the same thing, would you kind of like standardize how you want to call it? Do you want to call it base token and you want to call it base token across the entire platform, or you want to call it collateral and just have it say collateral wherever is supposed to be, listed?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a really good point, Lazar. Yeah, I think we have to kind of change this. So Phil, if I'm not wrong, I think we've kind of finalized with showing collateral across the SIMX, across the DApp, right?
Absolutely. Definitely a very good catch. But yeah, we want to use the collateral terminology everywhere. Just because
Yeah, just for the sake of,
Yep.
you understand why, of course.
Agree.
And
Yes.
one more thing also, since the grid view looks very nice and it provides an option to visualize things, did you guys think about maybe having a different color sort of as a background or as a shadow behind the collateral token? Because you have EOS and ETH, for instance, and they both have like this green boundary around them, border, sort of. Were you considering the idea of collateral tokens having that orange color, for instance, so that people are always aware that, both visually and in written form, that is the collateral token of that contract? I mean, that's just an idea. It doesn't have to be implemented because you wrote it in words in a way, which of the two tokens is the collateral token. I just meant since this grid view is really visually grateful form to do things graphically as well. I would suggest that maybe you can demonstrate us how would it look if you would have another color, just for us to see whether there's any sense to do that.
And that makes sense, because assign your property definitely gives an easier way of reading the data, definitely. So probably I think we can do something around that. That's a really good suggestion, Lazar. We'll probably do something in that.
I think that's not a bad idea. Also, on the top, you have that green border on the top of each of those. Maybe you could use different color scheme depending on how close to an expired the contract is now.
Yeah, that's the idea. So I think it's already implemented.
Yeah.
We don't have any expiring soon right now, but yeah, it's already implemented. So in the mock.
Oh, it is. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna look. Maybe it's all gonna be colors all over the place, and it's gonna look awful. But it's just a thing that you can play around with, I guess, and then we can again organize some kind of voting and stuff like that. Yeah, basically what you just did. Yeah, so we can figure it out and ask the community for some feedback, and then decide on the design is the best one to implement based on the feedback that we got.
Definitely. That's a great suggestion. Let's definitely do that.
And, all right. And if you really want to get fancy, you could even use a token or a coin library for the. I think there are a few out there. I know this is all polish and finish, and I know it takes time to do. So I don't want to pile on.
Yeah, that's in the plan as well. So we also need that in the sim exchange to show what type of collateral, and definitely makes sense to show the symbol and the icon over there. Definitely we can do that. I've made note of this. Awesome.
Great. Thanks.
It certainly doesn't take away from how good it looks. So thanks very much, Nitin, for doing the demo.
Mostly welcome.
Awesome. Anyone have any questions? There was some feedback. If I can find my mouse. Yeah, I think the consensus was that use some colors and such. So that's great. All right, everybody. Okay. So anything that we need to discuss today? I know Phil mentioned ETH Denver. Or any other topics anyone else would like to bring up or share with us, or any feedback?
We yesterday had some discussion internally on the marketing side. We noticed an interesting project. I'm not gonna name it or anything. Just that does some trading stuff, and they did some kind of demo of some kind where they kind of showed some very basic functionality of their trading platform with a lot of confirmation screens and stuff like that in the form of screenshots and all that to demonstrate how easy and fast it is to trade contracts on their platform and stuff like that. So we were just wondering from the marketing side of things, knowing that you guys did the first trade and that functionality is there already, like how far maybe are we to have the UI and UX implementation of that, so that, like for a trade to be done, the guys don't have to copy each other's JSONs and all of that. They don't have to, go and access the actual code on the side, but rather just click and get some confirmation screens that the order was processed and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, right? Like something that's also visually confirming the fact that the transaction occurred. I yesterday spent some time watching the first trade demo, and like, although I know and like all the developers that were on the call know that the trade actually occurred, we never had like any confirmation screen saying like success, your order was posted, or success, your order was matched by XYZ. You know what I'm saying, right? So my question for you guys is like, how far do you think we are from having a visual representation and redoing another trade with all of those confirmation screens and all that?
Lazar, let's take this conversation offline, because I think there's some competing forces in what you're talking about. So let's circle back on that.
Sure.
Yeah, the whole goal of getting to feature complete, I think we're gonna get there this week, and then I think there's a lot of discussion as far as how much more polish you want to put out there on top of the UI. So good question. We might have some updates for you next week on that as a community.
All right, thanks.
Anybody else? All right.
Do you guys briefly want to talk about, I think we kind of talked about it in Discord yesterday, but just the changes to possibly in the future, how we're working with collateral and the contracts?
Good, I'm glad you brought that up.
So just a brief overview. Currently, we have a collateral pool that's unique to every single market contract that's deployed. So you deploy a market contract, you deploy a collateral pool, those become linked, and then those two pieces interact together in order to provide the needed functionality for locking collateral and trading. One of the things that we actually talked about a long time ago and has come back up is the idea of having a single collateral pool that allows all of the market contracts to tie into. There's some really large benefits to that architecture, and I'll briefly list those and then we'll go over the cons. But the first large benefit to that is the collateral pool would be deployed once, so there'd be significant gas savings in the deployment process for new contracts. It also would allow the new contracts deployment to be reduced from the current 2 transactions that have to occur to a single transaction. And then the additional benefit is that if we have let's say that we have 10 contracts that are in USDT or whatever stablecoin you want to talk about, and then 10 contracts that are in wrapped ether. Right now, you'd have to, if you wanted to trade all 10 of those, you'd have to go through and deposit wrapped ether into every single one of those contracts, which is a kind of an onerous user experience. And we're already running into the same problem with the bot, which is, hey, anytime a new contract pops up we need to deposit collateral for the bot to be able to trade it. So with this single collateral pool idea, a user would be able to deposit collateral into the quote unquote master collateral pool, and it would enable trading on any contract that used that token. So you can imagine that I deposit USDT into the collateral pool, and now I'm able to trade 10 contracts, and it's a single point for me to withdraw that collateral as well. So I think there's significant benefits to the user experience with it. And there's also some really large benefits to some other features that we're talking about with some partners that have to do with them pruning order books in a more efficient manner. So I don't know if anyone has any comments they want to, or questions about that. I'm happy to talk about it since we have a little bit of time today. A few of the cons, they're maybe small, but it's definitely concentrating collateral in a single place. My contention that argument is that if there's a vulnerability in any of the code, it's going to be across all the contracts. And so it doesn't really matter if it's one or many, the code's the same. That's really possibly the only con that I can clearly articulate, besides possibly the fact that we could have implemented some per contract functionality that gave the owner or the deployer of those contracts some ability to release collateral early in some potential conflicts, but that would kind of go out the window with this. So let me just clarify that point one step further, which is, let's say exchange X is a decentralized exchange, and they have people putting collateral into a collateral pool, and they actually want people to not be able to withdraw that collateral for a certain time period for order pruning purposes, meaning that they want their orders to always be liquid, that there's collateral backing those orders so they match properly. Previously, we could have maybe given them some sort of signing capability to that contract that they deployed to allow them that functionality. In this model, it's a single collateral pool for all of the contracts. So we couldn't give a specific exchange that functionality or that privilege of releasing collateral. It would have to be a much more global process. So I'll stop there and open up for a conversation.
Well, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I think it's a great idea for us to move towards pooling collateral in the most simple way for our users possible. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I would agree with Bass as well. Follow on the conversation last night, and I think that a small time delay, and we're not talking even a matter of hours for individuals or whoever, the entity, to get their money back. We're just trying to make sure that it's clear, and then orders aren't open, and those can be closed before the money's withdrawn. So I think that's reasonable and customary. And like you said, Phil, I think that if you had an issue or a security issue in one contract, it's fine. You have one contract that has this huge collateral pool. It would be the same thing as going to the individual contracts and draining those. So I'm not seeing really that much additional risk, if any at all, by doing that. So I really support the change.
Great. It's awesome feedback. So any more questions on any of that architecture or thoughts on it? Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate all the feedback.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. That was good information. And if you do have any additional questions or feedback even after the call, again, please join us either on Telegram or our Discord channel. And we could probably post some links here in the chat room, so you have those. Great. So time for our final segment. Inspiration or not, I have a fascination with Rube Goldberg machines, and we're all kind of geeky. So hopefully, the couple links. One is more commercialized than the other. One's kind of tied into a music video, but it's cool. And just so we're very clear. Engineering folks, if someone states that your code looks like or feels like a Rube Goldberg machine, that's not a compliment. So just keep that in mind as you watch the videos, and of course as you develop your software. So please keep away from the spaghetti and Rube, because other people might need to work on your code. So with that, any other parting comments from the gallery? Phil? All right, everybody. Well, appreciate your time today, and thank you for joining the Market Protocol weekly engineering call. We have some links in the chat, so if you want to join us online, please do so. And happy deving. Have a great rest of your week and a great weekend.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Guys.